Do you ever get tongue-tied when you're asked to explain your Christian beliefs, or do you struggle looking for words or even the right starting place to explain those beliefs? Well, you're in luck because I'm going to give you three simple phrases that will give you an outline of basic Christian doctrine. If you don't know who I am, I'm Ray Siervo, and I provide sound, reasonable, relevant answers that will build your faith and witness. So as I mentioned, there's just a real simple video, three simple things. Here's the title of it. It's God's Big Story. And that's what we're going to talk about because we believe that the Bible is just one story that leads to Jesus. That though there are many parts to it, basically Jesus is always the focus of it. Now, here are the three things that we'll look at when we look at God's big story. We understand that God made it, and I'll unpack that for you in a minute. And then simply that we broke it. Whatever it was that God made, what God intended, we broke it. But then the end of it is that Jesus fixed it. And those are the three things to remember. And in your life, you have to unpack what you believe about them. And so I'll start off with what I think you should do, okay, when we look at these three things. So when we say God made it, what do we mean? Now, there's an infighting in the church that goes on about the age of the earth. And it is, whether you believe in a young earth or an old earth. That's an infighting inside the camp argument about the age of the earth. I don't think that should go to the outside. But here's what I do believe, is that the universe is fine-tuned for life on earth. And that's what I want to show when I talk about God made it. I really don't care about the age of the earth, and I know that sounds really flippant, but when I'm talking to an unbeliever, whatever you want in this, I'll give you even evolution at some point. But look at the fine-tuning that points to an intelligent designer. That's the important part of what we're looking at. And that's the part we want to be able to unpack and talk about. God's given us two books. He's given us the Bible, and he's also given us the natural world, something we call natural theology. The second one is that we broke it. How did we break it? Well, we broke it because we disobeyed God, and we still disobey God. The Garden of Eden in chapter 3 of Genesis, where it talks about Adam and Eve and the temptation that Eve was deceived and Adam disobeyed. Basically what they did, they took from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and that was the tree that God said you should not do. Well, what did they do when they did that? Here's the major point of this part, and that is that they decided what would be good and what would be evil. And that was the real, the fall, the devastation that we see, that we decide what's right and wrong. We don't let God be the one who decides what's right and wrong. Well, the third part is that Jesus fixed it. And that part is perhaps the most important part of it. How did he fix it? Well, you could see from the beginning God intended to fix it. He said it in the garden that the seed of the woman would come and crush the serpent's head. And you can see through the whole of the Old Testament, the Hebrew scriptures, that humans continually fail, even though they have everything going for them. Think of the nation of Israel and all that they had, and yet they disobeyed. They went their own way. Even though God gave them strict laws and statutes, they were the ones who decided what would be right and what would be wrong. And that is really the part that we want to focus in on. Man continually fails to approach God in a way that is pleasing to him. They fail to make a way until Jesus comes and he makes the way. Jesus is the one who satisfies all of the Old Testament laws, all of the Old Testament imagery concerning feasts and the tabernacle and everything else. And Jesus lives a perfect life and offers a perfect sacrifice to our sins or for our sins to God. He makes the way to the Father. So Jesus fixes God's original intention, and that is the blessing of who Jesus is to us. So there it is. God made it, we broke it, and Jesus fixed it. That's the big story. That's God's big story. And that's how we can always have something to enter into conversations about. Just remember those three things. You know, children can remember them. They're easy to remember. I hope this helps you. You can go to raysiervo.com and sign up for my newsletter, and there you'll have access to an argument or arguments for the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And I trust that it'll help you. I do have Facebook pages, Apologetics for the Rest of Us, and also Ray Siervo Ministries. If you want to look me up on Facebook, and check out my YouTube channel, because there also you can sign up and watch videos that I do concerning the resurrection of Jesus and who God is and how we can navigate this world. Thanks for watching.